Hi, this is Brian with Fightfan.net and Andrew Kauppila, the new junior lightweight champion. So on that fight tonight, it looked like he caught you, as we can see, in the first or second round. Do you know what it was that he caught you with?
A lot of left hooks.
Yeah?
And I knew they were coming a lot of times, but he would catch me off guard or coming in with a shot, and he had pretty good angles, and I was on the wrong end of the fist, I guess.
Yeah, it seemed like that he won that first round. He came out pretty fast and pretty hot, but it seemed like the second round you definitely came back a lot stronger, and then in the third it seemed like you just dominated him in the third.
Right, yeah, and he took me down a few more times than I wanted, but I was active enough on the bottom, I guess, and I didn't think I had the wins just because I was on my back the whole time, but I guess I was active enough.
I think you almost had him in a triangle 2 times. I think the first time, I think that was in the first round, you almost had an arm bar as well.
Right, and I had a couple omoplatas, but I couldn't quite finish it. He's real strong, and just wasn't able to
Did you
get
feel
it.
that he was slowing down towards the second and the third?
I could feel it. I knew he was gassed, but I just couldn't put him away. He's real strong, real tough opponent.
I know that we talked in the pre-fight interview about what your better skill sets are, and you said heart and just the willingness to keep going at it. And I feel like we could see that kind of come through in the second and third round, where you just did not give up, as opposed to him. He was definitely a little bit gassed, but I don't think you let that show.
Right, yeah, and that's one thing we work on. If I definitely won't lose a fight because of conditioning. That's for sure.
Andrew, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. We saw a lot more ground game out of you this time. Usually we see in just stand-up battles. Did you train specifically more ground for this fight, or?
No, nothing more than usual. I've been improving on my ground game, but a lot of times it doesn't ever really go to the ground, or I'll end up getting top position or somewhere I can't show off my skills as much. And I luckily was able to keep him in my guard and keep control on him, and he wasn't able to pass or anything. And then if he got to side control once, I got the lockdown and was able to get back to full guard real easily. And I think just staying active is what won the fight for me.
You seem very composed throughout as well. You landed some really good knees to the body in the third round, and just very composed.
Yeah, I was doing all I could, but couldn't put him away. I wish I would have caught him with a few more strikes, but it went to the ground too quick, and so I had to show off my jiu skills a little bit more than I usually do.
For a fight that nobody predicted was going to go 3 rounds, how did this compare to some of the other wars you've been in for 3 rounds?
It was one of the toughest fights. I would say this one and Miles Worth were my toughest fights ever. They both went almost a decision with Miles Worth, but it was a back and forth battle, and this one was the strongest. I've had a few others go to decision, but this was a good war the whole time, and we were active on both sides, so it was definitely a battle.
Hey, one more for you. Some people think that the judges will realize one guy's getting gassed, and that may affect the way they see the fight and the score of the fight. Do you think that had anything to do with it?
Well, I mean, if it's all based on how active they are, really.
Yeah.
Cage control, things like that. But if you get them on the ground, and I was just lucky he wasn't as active as he could have been, probably, because I think that's what won the fight for me, is that I was more active, and that might have been because he was tired, and got the fight to the ground, but then wasn't able to go from there. I think conditioning is what helped me win, to stay more active, and possibly why he didn't win, because he might have been out of shape a little bit, or whatever. You never know. Sometimes you get a big adrenaline dump, and it's all out of your control. But it worked out in my favor, and here I am,
the new champion. So do you think after this you're going to be ready to move to professional, or?
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I think my nose is broken from this, so they said I'll have to take a month off, but I wouldn't take a fight sooner than that anyway, I like 6 weeks minimum for a good training camp and knowing my opponent and things like that, so I don't like to just jump back into it, but we'll see what comes about.
Well, it was definitely a great fight. I think Fightfan and everybody else appreciates your awesome effort, and we look forward to seeing you again in the cage.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll definitely be back.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.